I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. Would you stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Catch these chairs. They'll slide back easy.
Judy, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Regola-Dye?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes. All right, I would entertain a motion for our approval of our April 20th regular meeting and the May 8th special meeting minutes. So moved. Thank you, Ms. Regola-Dye, and do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Workman. Were there any corrections or additions? Hearing none, would you call the roll?
Ms. Regola-Dye?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, before we move to communications and accommodations, I apologize for being so loud, but that looks like teachers or something on command. It's either a clap or a gavel, right? So thank you, and thank you all for coming. And you are all here for some pretty amazing people. So welcome to all of you, and I'm going to turn it over to Bill at this point. And Bill, you have quite the show.
We do, and so I'm going to use the microphone here quick so you can hear me. It is kind of a bittersweet time here in May where we're so excited for some of our folks who are retiring, and yet when you think about all the years that they've given to Mount Vernon City Schools, it is a little bittersweet, and while we'll miss them on a day-to-day basis, they'll always be part of our family, and we'll make sure we bring them back. What you see before you is a list of folks we're going to share with you and celebrate with you tonight. We have 476 years of service that are retiring from Mount Vernon City Schools this year. When you look up at that list, I need you to know this: the order is not the correct order, the way that I did it. It's perfect the way Jess did it because she went very alphabetically, and that's the right thing to do. But as I was developing the slides for our show today, I felt like I needed to group them by principal or those who were sharing. So sometimes that didn't jive. So all of these folks are going to be recognized tonight, but maybe in just a little bit different order, and I'll be doing it versus a PowerPoint slide. All right? The other thing I'd like to do is that when you see your picture or your name come up on the slideshow, the presenter will come up to the podium, as will our honored celebratory retiree. The person who is sharing a little bit about will share, and then we'll get a chance to go up, and I want to ask all of our retirees who maybe they brought with them today, because I know there are lots of significant special others. And then maybe if you can think about, between now and the time you come up, what maybe something kind of special you might do in retirement, okay? The other thing we'll do is that generally we provide everybody with a really unique gift. It's a really nice watch that has Mount Vernon insignia on it. As you can only imagine, with everything that's going on, that order did not come in by Friday. And so while we have half of them in, the other half is still not in. And we thought, you know what, instead of just handing out half, we'll make sure we get you all something kind of special here within the next week. We're being told that it's coming within the week, so we want to make sure we do that. All right? So that'll be how we're going to proceed. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our PowerPoint here. Again, happy retirement. First up will be Adam Mowry, and he will be introducing Kim Bradley. So if you two could come up. And Kim, remember what you're supposed to be thinking about, right? Who you brought with us and what you're going to do in retirement. Here, Adam, I'll give you this. Okay, thank you.
All right. It is an honor to recognize these individuals this evening, but as Mr. Cedar indicated, it certainly is bittersweet. And this microphone's sliding and sliding, so I'm going to do my best. Kim Bradley. Kim has been with the Mount Vernon City School District for 17 years. She started at central office as the assistant to the library coordinator for nearly 4 years, where she also subbed for all of the elementary libraries in the district, before transitioning here to Twin Oak in 2013 as the library aide, where she is ending her illustrious career. Kim and I are extremely competitive individuals. We are. And we bask in the glory every month of having the highest circulation rates in the district. It's true. This is a testament to her love of reading, and in return, sharing this love of reading with all of our students. In retirement, I know you were going to ask Kim as well. And so, in retirement, Kim hopes to spend her time reading, of course, traveling with her family, and she's going to be starting a new adventure working at Paragraph's bookstore. She will never, ever be found without a good book nearby. And that's true. We are going to miss you, Kim. Thank you.
Just a little bit. So Kim, I told you I was putting you on the spot. So you've already answered the question about maybe what you're going to do. Did you bring anybody special here with you today?
I didn't tonight. Well, except
There's
my
your crew.
my family. Sorry guys.
Extended family. All right, Kim. So I'm gonna ask a different question then, because we know what you're going to do in retirement. So what was the last book you read?
Oh, today? I mean, just for... Okay, well, in the library, we read Goldfish on Vacation. It's about how goldfish can go on vacation, too.
So are you going on vacation anywhere this summer?
I am going to Pigeon Forge, which I've never been to before, so, yeah, with my family.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, Kim, we are so proud of you and thankful, and let's give Kim Bradley a nice... Adam, you're back to the stage. And next, Dawn Mann.
Dawn works literally 4 feet from my office, and we spend a significant amount of time together daily. Dawn has been with Mount Vernon City Schools for 26 years. She started at West Elementary as a science aide, then moved to Twin Oak in its inaugural year and continued as a science aide those first 2 years. Then transitioned to a one-on-one aide and finally settled in her role as our health aide here at Twin Oak, where she has tended to wounded and sickly students. We call her Mama Man for a reason, as she treats each student with the care you would give your own child. She will be greatly missed by the students here and the students that have come through, our staff and our community. And in retirement, Dawn plans to spend time with her family, her husband's here, enjoying gardening, traveling, and making her beautiful jewelry. When she can, she wants to find time to relax, maybe a little bit. Dawn, we are going to miss you greatly.
I miss you guys.
Thank you so much for everything.
She's going to introduce her husband, and she said he's in trouble, so go ahead.
I brought my husband, Tom, with me tonight. He's back there taking pictures. And then all my friends from Twin Oak.
And you got more friends from Twin Oak. You mentioned you were going to do some traveling. I know grandkids are in the picture. Anything
Definitely.
special in mind that Adam didn't touch on?
I think when school starts this coming fall, we're going to maybe head up and be leaf peepers up in Maine.
Up to Maine. Did you hear that? Yep, up to Maine. All right. We're so grateful for you and your 26 years in Mount Vernon. Thank you so much. Let's give Dawn a nice round of applause. Adam comes back to the stage again. Either they're all wanting to leave Twin Oak, or he just is...
I need to get my steps in too.
Go ahead.
Perry Winfrey, come on up. Prior to working in Mount Vernon City Schools, Perry worked at Kenyon as a custodian, and in 1987 was working at the LTV steel mill as a general laborer. Perry started subbing for the Mount Vernon City Schools in 2013 and was hired full-time in 2016 at Twin Oak Elementary. At Twin Oak, he served as a second shift custodian until the 22-23 school year, when he became the head custodian here at Twin Oak. If you were to come into the building at any given time, you'll probably hear someone over our walkie-talkies calling for Perry's assistance, refilling paper towels, assisting with a sick child, or maybe even helping to set up for a board meeting. In retirement, Perry hopes to spend time with family and friends and to look after his father, who is 95 years old. He's even thinking about taking up fishing and maybe spending some time at the beach. Perry, make sure you wear some sunblock too, okay? Perry, we're going to miss you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. All right, Perry, I got to come up with something now for you there, fella. So, are you thinking fly fishing, out on Lake Erie?
No, just hanging in Apple Valley. Or,
Just hanging local.
I went to Lake Erie one time before and got seasick on boats.
So you're going to be on the shore, is what we're hearing.
Pretty much.
Well, I did get a chance to talk to Perry just briefly before tonight, as he was setting up, and he really is looking forward. I think it's awesome to spend more time with Dad and spending time with family. So that's your family too. They're here, right?
Yep.
And so let's give Perry a nice round of applause. We're not going to make Adam be so lonely this time, so Carly and Adam are going to kind of join and talk about our next guest.
Come on down. I'm still mad. Told Tony I'm still mad at her. I didn't realize she was this close to retirement, so it's going to be tough seeing her down. Tony's been with the Mount Vernon City School District for 15 years now. She started as an intervention specialist at Dan Emmett and a 4th grade and 5th grade classroom teacher at Dan Emmett as well. She then transitioned to the gifted intervention specialist in 2018 at Dan Emmett and Twin Oak, shared position, which eventually became East in Twin Oak. Tony is beloved by her colleagues and her students and is a positive force to anyone who knows her, and she has a wonderful laugh. Prior to serving in the school district, Tony was a graphic designer, stay-at-home mom, and a preschool teacher. In retirement, I know Tony hopes to travel, visit family more often, and develop many of her hobbies. These were some things I didn't know, like thrifting and antiquing, crafting and sewing and gardening. Tony will be missed by her colleagues, the many students that she served throughout her career at many of our buildings, and of course the community. Thank you, and even though I'm still upset with you, I only wish you the best in retirement. Thank you.
Thanks.
When you walk into Tony's classroom, you don't just see teaching, you see engagement. Tony has this magical ability to take complex concepts and turn them into highly engaging hands-on lessons that make our students' eyes light up. But her impact goes far beyond lesson plans. For her students, she's a champion. She sees their potential even when they don't see it themselves. She cares deeply for their emotional well-being just as much as their academic growth. For her colleagues, Tony is the ultimate team player. Whether it's a duty that needs covering, a brainstorm session for a struggling student, or just needing a morale boost, she's the first to jump in and help. For our culture, you rarely see Tony without a smile on her face. In a profession that can be demanding and exhausting, her positivity has been a lighthouse to all of us. Tony's connection to East is personal. Long before she was a lead teacher, she was an East parent. Her son and her daughter walk those hallways just as she has. She has supported our school as a mother, as a volunteer, and as a professional for nearly 2 decades. She isn't just an employee, she's family. In closing, Tony, you have spent the last 15 years molding minds, supporting your peers, and making East and Twin Oak better places to be. You've left a legacy of kindness and intellectual curiosity that will continue long after you've turned in your keys. So on behalf of the staff, the students, and the families whose lives you've touched, thank you. We wish you nothing but relaxation and joy in this next chapter. You've certainly earned it.
Did you bring anybody with you tonight?
No.
No, but your family? Right. Great. So Tony really stepped into a role that was just ideal for her, and it was gifted education. Math in particular, which is, I know, a love of Dr. Bennett and Mrs. Kassler. And you know, I've gotten to see her firsthand as a grandparent because she taught my granddaughter, who absolutely loved Tony's class. She loved being pushed and really prodded to be her very best. And I will say, even as of today, she's taking algebra in middle school and still getting straight A's, and that's a large part because of you, Tony. So thank you so very much for all your time, and you won't be very far away, right?
I will not be very far away.
All right.
Yeah,
thank you
so
Tony.
much.
Carly's going to try to stay there. So we have a unique guest here. Actually, it's going to be kind of a husband and wife combo this week, but not right now, but tonight it's going to be that way. And I think they planned this together, but we'll see. All right, and so, Carly, go ahead.
We'll wait for Steve.
Steve is our tennis coach as well, so when you see his shuffle, it's because he's thinking about a backhand or a forehand.
Steve is our reading specialist, and he has done such a wonderful job in his letter of resignation that I'm actually going to use that because I don't think that there's a better way to even say this, how much he's ingrained in Mount Vernon. So in his letter, he says that he's the 3rd generation in his family to have graduated from Mount Vernon City Schools. And he has guided his 3 children through the district to become his family's 4th generation. His first connection with the district happened when he was 3 months old. He and his mother appeared in a picture in the 1963 Mount Vernon High School Forum book. He's been a part of the district from the time he started kindergarten at Dan Emmett in 1967, then graduated from high school in 1980, and then was hired at Columbia in 1984. He married a fellow graduate and then gained a mother-in-law who also taught in the district. During his 42 years of teaching, he's taught in every elementary school except Twin Oak. He did teach at West and Elmwood that went together to form Twin Oak, and he sent his students to Twin Oak. So he takes the liberty of saying that Twin Oak is covered in his career. He even taught in his kindergarten classroom and remembered in which cubby he placed his mat that he used on the floor to rest after his milk and cookies. When you add all of that together, that's 55 years that this district has played a major role in Steve's life. Steve's thankful for the education, the encouragement, and the experiences that he had as a student. He is appreciative of the chance to teach students, grow professionally, and influence the early literacy education of the district students beyond those that were in his care. He's going to continue to coach high school tennis teams for at least one more year in his retirement, and hopefully it'll make it a little easier to say goodbye to the institution, the people, and the students that shaped his life. He's looking forward to seeing what adventures will come in the life that he and Chris share, and he imagines he'll still be involved in the schools in some way. He closes by saying it's his fervent hope that he's left Mount Vernon City Schools in a better place than when he first arrived. And as his principal, I can attest that that is true.
So I know you brought somebody pretty special with you. Would you happen to point her out over there?
Yeah, there's Christine Tier over there.
Christine Tier. Not Chris, but Christine.
Christine Fosnot Tier, class of 81.
That's right.
So do you have any special plans? Are you guys going anywhere?
Well, I'm currently planning the summer tennis program, and then comes high school girls tennis, and then comes my daughter's wedding in October. So we probably won't realize we're retired until the end of October.
Wow, Christy, that sounds like a lot going on. So Steve is an avid tennis aficionado, not only as a player, but as an advocate. He really has kind of started tennis at the younger levels. I know even my grandchildren have gotten tennis rackets because he writes grants so that kids can get them. We can do them in phys ed classes. And ironically, when I came to Mount Vernon 13 years ago, Steve came up to me and he said, "I know you." And I said, "Oh yeah? How do you know me?" Believe it or not, back in 1981, 82, right?
1980.
1980, we played against each other in tennis. And so he whipped my butt back then.
My doubles partner and I were 24-1. Guess who the one is?
Pretty good. That's what I want. 42 years, amazing. Let's give Steve a nice round. Not to be outdone, Darren Prince is going to come up and share with Christine Tier.
Well, Steve, I'd like to start with saying thank you for allowing us to have Chris for as long as you have. So Chris has been with us for 30 years. 16 of those years was spent as a sub-caller and secretary in the district before she transferred over into being our guidance counselor. And what I'll tell you is that since you've been there, you have still been keeping teachers coming to work, just like you did whenever you're doing sub-calling to make sure that the best possible people are in front of our students. Because I will tell you that she does not only provide counsel to just our students. She spends a lot of time speaking with teachers to help advocate for them and to help them to best meet the needs of our students. And I think that is something that is often missed by our school counselors who do such a wonderful job at making sure that we are coming to school each and every day ready to meet the needs of our students. But also, she provides counsel to some of our parents at the middle school level that have incoming sixth graders. There is no better person. Listen, if I have a parent who comes in the front door and you can just see it, they're all nervous, but there's certain parents that are very nervous. There's one person that I take them to, and that is Chris. Because when they exit that conversation, she has convinced them that the journey that they are about ready to be on in middle school, that she will be there at every single moment and every phone call, that she will be the one that's there to help them get through it, and she is telling the absolute truth. We will not be able to replace that. You are an absolutely incredible school counselor, an even better person.
Thank you. You're going to make me cry.
I miss you dearly. But I haven't talked about the students yet. Listen, if I go into the office and I go by the office, there is absolutely a student inside that office. They often have a smile on their face, and they are often sitting with Chris, and they're eating lunch, they're playing a game. It's like a revolving door, right? And they're doing that because they want to spend time with her. And that is the type of adult that we want in our building, that the kids are wanting to beat down the door to get in there. And Chris is absolutely that person. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for our district. Again, Steve, thank you so much for what you've done for the district and letting us have her. We're going to want her back. Make sure that she's allowed to come in and spend some time with us. But thank you so much.
I'm not doing lunch duty anymore.
You brought it up.
Well, Christine, you're not in trouble.
No,
but,
okay.
Again, I want to also thank you very much. I've had the blessing to have a lot of wonderful counselors over the years, and you kind of epitomize just that unique individual who not only does it, as Darren said, with the kids, because I see that, but the way you wrap your arms around your colleagues. And, we've had some challenges over the past couple of years, and Chris is able just to kind of be that person for other people. And so that's something that's rare. It'll be missed, but we know you're going to be close by. Now, in retirement, pickleball. Pickleball is that a bad word for you? She may take you to task on pickleball. But thank you so much for your 30 years, and let's give a nice round of applause. So this next one is kind of unique. First time I've ever had it at one of these, at one of our events. So Mindy Essex, I guess you're going to come on up, and I'm going to have you sit down right next to me, because some of her colleagues, one of them is here today. Maybe I ought to make her come up and sit next to Mindy. Okay. Well, they did a YouTube presentation, so you get to sit up front here and see this special YouTube presentation, Mindy, and then we'll thank you. So come on up. Mindy Essex.
And I'm Tara Brubaker, and we are here to speak on behalf of Mindy Essex. We have had the privilege of working alongside Mindy for over a decade, which in school years is roughly equivalent to a century. And somehow she has made every one of those years a little bit better. Before we talk about what Mindy means to us here at MVCSD, here's a little bit about her background for those who are wondering. Mindy's music journey started at The Ohio State University, where she studied trumpet and marched with the legendary The Ohio State Marching Band, which we have always thought kind of made her a rock star. She began teaching band in 1991 at Rosemore Junior High School, then bounced between elementary music, choir, and general music, basically proving there wasn't a job she couldn't do. In 2007, she went back to Ohio State, earned her PhD in music education, and spent a few years preparing future teachers, only to realize that college students and faculty meetings were not nearly as entertaining as middle schoolers. In 2012, she returned to the middle school classroom, where the drama is louder, the smells are not so great, but happiness became the better school. And in 2015, she landed here in Mount Vernon, where she found what she would proudly call her dream job, working with us. Mindy, it's hard to sum up what you meant to us here at the middle school, because you're not just our general music teacher. You're our friend, our force. A steady, joyful, slightly quirky, deeply kind force who has shaped the school in ways that go far beyond the classroom. Of course, there's the music. The countless keyboards, the ukuleles, the drums, the digital compilations, and the moments where students discovered that they could do something that they just didn't think they could do. You taught them rhythm and composition, but also confidence expression, and how to take a risk in front of an audience. That's not something they'll soon forget. But really what stands out about you is who you are every day. You have this incredible way of seeing people, especially the ones who might feel a little offbeat, the odd-duck kids, as we lovingly call them, the ones who don't always fit neatly in a box. Somehow they have always found their way to your brain. And once they got there, they found acceptance, encouragement, in a place where being different wasn't just okay, it was celebrated. And honestly, that might be your greatest legacy. However, we can't forget the kindness club that you started a few years ago. Mindy encouraged the students of MVMS to complete acts of kindness. They would then report to her what they did, and they would add a stamp to the kindness poster. Mindy had so many kids coming to stamp the posters between classes that she had completed posters in her room and lying in the hallway. What an amazing way to encourage students and promote kindness. We will never forget it, and we hope to continue to spread acts of kindness in years to come. And then, there was also this time that you decided to start your own GoFundMe to raise money for keyboards and ukuleles for your students to get to take home with them. We will never forget you blowing those instruments in my Cobra. Those students who would have never received an instrument any other way will never forget what you did for them when you put those instruments into their hands. It was nothing short of amazing. Also, and we cannot leave this out, you've managed to bring an unusual amount of enthusiasm for British royals, miniature anything, and small woodland creatures into our lives. Whether it's a video, a little prince, or a dreamy little scene where woodland creatures live peacefully together, you've reminded us all to notice the little things. And to just get a bit more excited about them than most adults probably should. And then there's the friendship, and the loyalty, and the quiet resistance. Remember the shirt that you wore on our very first day back to work with a secret message on the inside meant just for those of us who are partnering with you in our own little resistance? Good times. That combination, the love of music, the kindness, the quirky joy, and the deep care of every living thing is uniquely you. And it's made this place richer in ways that are really hard to measure. Our years together have been brighter, warmer, and more harmonious because of you. You've supported us on the hard days, you've celebrated with us on the good ones, and always brought a sense of calm and love into everything that you do. Mindy, your impact isn't just what you've done in the classroom. It's in the people. It's in the students who have felt seen, the colleagues who felt supported, and in our own little fun hall that you helped build. As you head into retirement, we hope that your days are filled with some of your favorite things. Music, laughter, British dramas, traveling, good books where absolutely nothing happens in over 300 pages, and plenty of time to admire those tiny woodland creatures you love so much. And while you're out here living your best retired life, don't forget about the rest of us. Still here in the trenches of middle school, negotiating with adorable 12-year-olds who are extremely weird, confiscating homemade fidget toys, and trying to explain again why we're out there rough and it's not okay to sit in each other's laps in class. We will miss you. And we fully expect occasional check-ins, lunch deliveries, or at least some thoughts and prayers. Thanks for everything you have given to our building, our students, and to us. We're going to miss you more than we can say, but we're also incredibly grateful for the time that we have had.
Congratulations on your retirement. Have fun all summer.
Congratulations, Mindy. It's been so lovely getting to know you this year. Congratulations, Mindy. I'm so happy for this new chapter of your life, but I'm going to miss you.
Congratulations, Mindy. We are so happy for you, but so sad for us because you do amazing things with our students.
Congratulations, Mindy. We love you. Love you so much.
Not so fast there, man. Quite a tribute. Well done, ladies. And that was her team. So there's a teaming concept at the middle school, and the teams get really close. They just do. And so that's like family. So in retirement, do you have any plans?
We're heading to Hilton Head the day after we get out of school.
The day after Hilton Head, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'll be making some music, hopefully playing music for people that want to listen. So.
Well, I can tell you this, 11 years ago when Mindy came here, we were looking for something a little different. And when you looked at Mindy's resume, it was like, it just popped out at you. So Mindy back then, 11 years ago, was STEM to music. Now we've recoined that to be STEAM and some of those things, but when she first came, and I know that she's done it since she's been here, she's taken the simple idea of music and taken instruments and buckets and made all kinds of instruments that brought music to life. And I think that's what we were hoping, and we got it in spades. So thank you so very much for your 35 years in education. Let's give Mindy a nice round of applause. And next up on our agenda is Miss Sandy Ward, and Julie Sang is coming to the podium.
You have a little job. You get to hold this. You'll learn why here in just a minute. So just a little warning, I had a little help this go round. Oh. Yeah, so don't get mad at me. That's not my fault.
I guess I need to leave.
It's okay. The Calendula officinalis has at least 50 different species, not including the hybrid varieties. It's native to the Americas, but as a result of hybridization, it can now grow and thrive in Asia, Europe, and Africa. It is an essential companion plant, and it has a range of purposes in a garden, from deterring pests to attracting pollinators. It is compatible and beneficial with almost all vegetables. It can suppress soil-borne diseases, yet it is edible, and it can stand on its own as a decorative plant, making it ideal to add to any flower garden. This plant with so many fantastic qualities you will know as the common marigold. Sandy, you emulate many of the marigold's qualities. From your compatibility, your support in the teaching field, to your wide range of personal interests, and eclectic tastes in music and movies, and let's not forget your extensive globetrotting. So Miss Sandy, you are the sweetest and kindest fellow coworker I've ever had the pleasure to teach beside. But a speech about Sandy wouldn't be complete without a quick history lesson. She's been teaching for over 32 years and has taught language arts and social studies. She started her career at the old Mount Vernon Middle School on Mulberry Street, and then she took 9 years off to have a couple kids and started back at the current Mount Vernon Middle School. She graduated from NVNU with both her bachelor's and master's degree. In 1985, she completed her student teaching at East Elementary. While at East, she also worked closely with Jewel Fairchild on her reading certification. In 1987, she interviewed with Dr. Truman and a panel of building principals hoping to be hired in an elementary position. Dr. Truman had a reputation for being intimidating. During the interview process, though, Dr. Truman, who was alluding to her petite stature, asked her, "Many of the students here at the middle school are a good size. How would you manage them?" Without missing a beat, she responded by saying, "Well, my husband's 6'5", and I handle him just fine." There's laughter in the room, and she was hired on the spot. Like the marigold and its contrasting purposes, Sandy has an unexpected range of interests. She enjoys traveling and learning about cultures. She follows sports and is especially fond of tennis. She and Jeff attend the U.S. Open every fall. She loves sharks. Jaws is her favorite movie. Her second favorite movie, The Sound of Music, is the catalyst for a trip to Austria this summer. I answered her question for you. To tour the town of Salzburg and the surrounding hills. She loves music of all genres. I was not shocked to learn that she had seen Rod Stewart and Billy Joel in concert, but I was shocked to learn that she had seen Lady Gaga twice. She's a perfectionist
and strives to have her lessons planned to a T. She is always polished in her speech, her attire, and her presence. The marigold is the perfect companion plant. It pairs well with almost any vegetable. Sandy is the perfect teammate. She was the first to welcome me to the middle school with a lovely email. She's always been kind, generous, and extremely helpful. My first few days at the middle school, Sandy was unsparing in sharing her lessons. She excitedly said, "This is what I do day 1, let me send you my slides. This is what I do on day 2, let me send you my slides." As the year went on, Sandy was unselfish in her sharing of materials. She lent teaching props, sent Google Slides, gave me pacing charts, and included TPT lessons. My first year at the middle school was seamless because of Sandy and her generosity and her willingness to share and collaborate. In the last 4 years, Sandy and I went from teammates to companions to friends. We talked about many things: our family, aging parents, in-laws, parenting challenges, our daughters, our sons. Sandy, I will cherish those memories, and you will never truly be replaced. This last week at the middle school, we celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week, and a fellow teacher shared an article with advice for a novice teacher. Now, I'm not novice by any means, but it resonated with me and my relationship with Sandy. This is called The Marigold Effect from thecultofpedagogy.com. And I quote, "Many experienced gardeners follow a concept called companion planting, placing certain vegetables and plants near each other to improve growth for one or both. For example, rose growers plant garlic near their roses because it repels bugs and prevents fungal disease. Among companion plants, the marigold is one of the best. It protects a wide variety of plants from pests and harmful weeds. If you plant a marigold beside most any garden vegetable, that vegetable will grow big and strong and healthy, protected and encouraged by its marigold." Marigolds exist in our schools as well, encouraging, supporting, and nurturing teachers on their way to maturity. If you can find at least one marigold in your school and stay close to them, you will grow. Few teachers will be lucky enough to be planted close to a marigold. Being assigned one as a mentor, a co-teacher, or a team leader will be rare. You can identify them by the way they congratulate on your arrival, by the way their offers of help sound sincere, or by how you feel when you're with them. You're calmer, more hopeful, excited to get started on the teaching task, comfortable asking questions. If you feel good around this person, chances are they have some marigold qualities. Sandy, from your welcome email to your sincere and constant offers of help, to your gentle daily presence, you are my marigold. I was lucky to be planted next to you and to learn from you, not just to polish and refine my own teaching practices, but to mirror your class and humility, your gentle spirit, and yes, even just a little bit of that perfection. So as you trade in your pacing charts for travel itineraries, your Google Slides for Wimbledon memorabilia, and your TPT purchases for Bruno Mars tickets, like the marigold, your residual effect will last way beyond May 28th. You will be missed, and I wish you all the best in this new era of your life.
Well done, Julie. Now, Jaws and the Sound of Music.
So we're going to Florida and Austria.
So, if you brought anybody with you, who would that be? The 6'5" young fellow right
that I
here?
handle very well, but I think he had to be here, so I'm pretty sure.
I think he wanted to be here, for sure. So, the one thing we've done in my time here is we do a summer scrapbook every year, and I usually share where our folks have gone throughout the summer, and I got to be honest, I've lived vicariously through the wards. Some of their traveling adventures, as soon as I get that email over the summer where the wards went, where in the world are the wards, I become kind of envious. And you can see up here, this is obviously in England, but it's really, really been neat to get to know you and your family. And so 32 years all in Mount Vernon. That's quite a testament, so congratulations, Sandy. we're getting closer. Miss Teresa Weaver and Miss Mary Lou Jacqueline.
This is incredibly uncomfortable for Mary Lou. She does not like the spotlight. So when you know those silent soldiers that are behind the scenes working really hard, that is absolutely her. But I bring to you this evening Mary Lou Jacqueline, who has served 34 years in education, 15 of those here in Mount Vernon. I've been blessed to work alongside her for the last 9 school years. She would say, sorry, Dr. Dill, 2 peas in a pod, she's not tech savvy, but I have watched her conquer years of tech situations, and oftentimes with a pretty good laugh at the end of those solutions. In my opinion, she's the queen of STEAM activities and hands-on learning in 4th grade science. For example, today they were outside with 150-degree pizza boxes making s'mores on the blacktop. You will find her every morning at arrival and in the afternoons at dismissal, and you only have 12 to go, welcoming our students and their families as she oversees safety patrol in the mornings. Her demeanor and her classroom environment are always so incredibly calm and welcoming for everyone, and she does an amazing job in meeting the diverse mental health and behavioral needs of our students. I would be neglectful in not sharing the Jacqueline Pleasant Street legacy. Oh, it is. I told you that would happen. For 45 consecutive years, there has been a Jacqueline teaching at Pleasant Street Elementary School. There was even one school year where she and Bruce were blessed to teach together. This decision to retire has been incredibly difficult for Mary Lou, and these conversations started a year and a half ago with her. However, it's been much easier for her to pass the torch, the keys to her classroom, and maybe all of the junk in it, because her son is taking her place and will be board approved this evening to be our next 4th grade teacher in her classroom. I can't imagine, as a mom and the wife of an educator, the pride, Bruce, that you and Mary Lou, that you feel knowing that that's Taylor's next chapter in his journey. Their family is a very interwoven part of the foundation at Pleasant Street. And like our 5 other retirees in my 9 years here, she plans to come back regularly and volunteer every week. But not in Taylor's room, in Tracy DeBoard's classroom. When June comes, it isn't goodbye, but see you later. So join me in expressing gratitude for Mary Lou's selfless service to our junior jackets.
I know you don't like the spotlight, but we are going to put you up here. So I know you brought someone special with you. Do you want to point them out?
I brought my husband Bruce and Tracy DeBoard, my co-teacher.
So Bruce loves to be in the spotlight. He's kind of that kind of guy, director and all those things. And you're, I was so thrilled to hear about Taylor's role in your room. I don't know how you write that script any differently, but it is true. And thank you for sharing that, Teresa, that Jacqueline's have been a part of a long time in our school, and it'll continue at Pleasant Street. Any plans in retirement? Do you guys are you going anywhere special?
Well, our grandkids are taking us to Disney World.
The grandkids are taking you to Disney World.
Grandkids invited us to go to Disney World with them.
That's awfully nice. Yeah. Well, again, thank you for all your years of service. Let's give Mary Lou a nice. Mr. Coughlin.
He's texting me right now, so. Well, I don't have anything prepared, which is good, because he didn't show up anyway, but. He's actually texting me as we speak. I think he thought it started at 6 at the middle school, so I don't think he's going to make it. But just real quick, for those of you who know Dave Codwell, amazing man. He wears many, many hats in our building and will be very, very hard to replace. Just real quick, one thing about Dave. He was in my interview 10 years ago when I got the assistant principal position. somebody I definitely look up to. It's it's interesting to be somebody's boss who's also your mentor, and having somebody who I respect at such a high level, who always pull me aside and just say, "You make the decision. We trust you," was very pivotal in me being able to do this role. So we're going to miss him. Thank you.
If Dave does make it over here, we'll bring him in part of the regular session. But, the one thing I will say about Dave is you look up there and you see 25 years and you see 40 years in education. In a previous board meeting just about a month ago, board members were making a comment that here's someone who's been in education 40 years, and he had probably 6 supplementals that he was doing just because he loves doing it. He just loves doing it, and
he has matching shorts to that jacket.
That is a pretty swanky jacket, so we got to give him dibs on that. Todd Conant, I think you have kind of the remaining, a little bit of the remaining group for us.
I will, if I end up with all 3 of them, I'm going to just...
Can do that, yep.
So Loretta, come up here, please. So first of all, this is not my forte, so I hope that I can do these 3 drivers accolades that they deserve, because they are all 3 wonderful people. Loretta and I, we have a mutual friend who is actually a bus driver in Utica, and she came to me years back and she said, I have a friend that is wanting to drive bus again. And I said, I have a full-time position. I said, have her fill out an application. Boy, did I make the right decision. You have been nothing short of great. I am so tickled to work with you for this time. I am. I think that you are going to be missed by not only me, but all of the other drivers in there. You have really become friends with everybody, and we're going to miss you.
So Loretta, did you bring everybody with you tonight?
Just me, myself,
Just you, yourself, and I? All right, so tell us, you've been driving for a good while. What are your plans in retirement?
I'm going to travel.
Where are you going to travel?
Well, I've got 2 Biloxi, Mississippi trips coming up, and then my big travel for retirement is the Route 66.
The Route 66 route, okay. What's in Biloxi, Mississippi?
Gambling.
Well, Loretta, best of luck as you roll the dice, and let's give Loretta a nice round of applause.
All right, I'm actually going to keep all the drivers up here because I've got to tell you what kind of drivers that I have in these people, but I want to do it all at once. But my next one is Bill Page. Bill, can you come up here? Now, when I started in 2014, Bill was the first driver that I hired.
And the best.
He tells me this all the time, and I don't have any argument. So I think that Bill is definitely, he has been an asset to Mount Vernon City Schools. And I think this was your second stint. You've been with me for about 12 years. Yeah, and so I think Mount Vernon's lucky to have you as well. Bill is one that is just so easy to get along with. He has always done so well with his bus and the kids on his bus, and how he treats them and how he disciplines to keep his bus safe and happy, and Bill's just done a great job. So
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because kids are fun to, even the bad ones, they're fun to be with.
That's right, that's right. So, did you bring anybody with you tonight?
Dave Dow.
Your work husband. Yeah. So, in retirement, what are your plans?
Well, I'm going to sleep in because I hate getting up at 5. I'm going to sleep in till 8 or 9 every day, play golf, and travel to Florida.
That sounds like a great plan to me, for sure. So let's give Bill
And the last but not least for me, I think he needs no introduction. Everybody knows Dalpy. Dalpy, come on up. So Dalpy is the person, when I came here 14 years ago, or 13 years ago, he is the person that, he kind of guided me into my position. Because when I came here, it was a much bigger district than what I came from, and there were times where I felt the water was up here, and Dalpy was one that kind of helped me and said, this is how we do it here, and he actually got me going. I think everybody knows, I mean, just from the kids in all your buildings, they all know Dalpy. They all love Dalpy. 28 years, that's remarkable. And I was lucky enough to have you for 12 or 13 of those. So, Dalpy, we appreciate you, that's for sure.
I want to say something about all of them here in a second.
Yeah.
Well, this fellow's pretty special. 28 years to drive a bus? Come on, really? To drive a bus for 28 years? And I'm not so sure he really wanted to give it up this year.
I didn't.
There's a lot of folks who can connect well with kids. And there's a lot of folks who can drive, but to do both of those and to do it for as long as you have is amazing. I think the one thing you can say about Dalpy is he forever is coming to events. He goes to about every music, every athletic event. The kids all know him by name. When you have parents who start to say, Dalpy was my driver, you know you've made quite an impact.
Abe Lincoln was my favorite.
So Dalpy kind of semi-retired back in January, February, somewhere in there. We got to have a little bit of fun with him in the bus garage, and needless to say, we thought, well, you know what, the end of an era. But let me just say this about these three, and maybe you're going to say it, I'm stealing your thunder. So bus drivers are really, really hard to come by. Good bus drivers are hard. And every district is struggling to find bus drivers. And I got a call last week, and between Justin and Todd and I, we were trying to figure out how are we going to manage some of these routes. We have our boys volleyball team going back to regionals in Dayton. We have an LCL or district championships going on somewhere else, and quite frankly, we're short drivers, and we weren't sure what we were going to do. And so Todd called folks out of retirement. They had already retired and said, hey, would you be willing to help us out? And wasn't 10 minutes later, Todd called me up and said, they said they're in. And that tells me a lot about y'all, right? That when it's a little tough, even though you've been kind of retired, and while this is a celebration, you retired a few months ago, they stepped up. And that's what makes all of y'all special. So let's give you want to say anything?
Well, that is, Bill did steal my thunder. I did. I had already talked to Loretta is still driving for me every day. And it just so happens today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, she has personal leave. And I called Loretta and I said, Loretta, I'm in trouble on Tuesday. I said, I've got a volleyball trip going to Dayton. I said, any way that you would take that for me? She said, yeah. She goes, I'll take it for you. Dalpy and Bill, I called them, and they were almost happy to help me out. That is.
You made my wife really happy because I won't be there.
But that is the type of people that my drivers are. So thank you for helping me tomorrow. Thank you for everything you've done. Not only great bus drivers, but we've all become very good friends too. Yeah.
Miss Kathy, could you come up, please? So Kathy and I had an opportunity to go on a little drive today. We went out to watch something, and I'll share it with the board here in our regular part of our meeting. But just to get the opportunity to go on a drive together out to the Shane Therapeutic Horse Farm, and just to kind of continue to talk and get to know Kathy has always been a pleasure. Kathy started her career as a math teacher back down in Athens at Tri-County Career Center. Before coming to Mount Vernon, where she spent most of her career, she was an assistant principal in 1998 before becoming the full-time principal in 2001. And if you think about that, and I thought about this, Kathy, the other day, you kind of, quite frankly, broke the ceiling. I mean, back in 2000, to have a female principal of a building of almost 1,200 students is an incredible accomplishment, and it wasn't happening back then. It's more happening today, but back then to do that is a real testament to you. She served as a principal at the high school for 15 years before moving to central office for the past 9 years, and so that's been a special privilege.
This is 10 years.
10 years. So, and by the way, Kathy's a math teacher, and so I put 36 years up there, and she saw me before the meeting. She goes, "No, Bill, that's 35.66." So I made sure I put it up there because I want to make sure it's right. So, this is going to sound like an oxymoron, but Kathy is the most organized, unorganized person I've seen. So you go to my office, and generally speaking, my desk is somewhat clear. At central office when she became a grandparent for the first time. And I told her before this was going to happen that they will change you. And so Liam and Amelia, who are her grandchildren, to see her I just anticipate that in retirement we're going to see her floating back down there towards Cincinnati a little bit more often with Brent and spending time. And yet we're still talking about opportunities to kind of keep her in a little bit of a math game here down the road. But Kathy has just been a tremendous blessing to the district to be here for how many years now? I don't want to get it wrong.
I know. So I've been in the district 28 years, but yes.
28 years. So, Kathy, did you bring anybody special with you? And I know you did.
Yes, my husband Brent's here.
And in retirement, maybe.
Definitely family, but yeah, grandkids are in the mix, yes.
And Brent said he thought you might start thinking about marathon running. Maybe start a half, right, Brent?
I can ring that cowbell really well, hold up the sign, yes.
All right, give Kathy a nice round of applause. So I'm going to be in trouble tomorrow. I'm probably already in trouble. Judy told me, I don't want you to say anything. I love serving the district. I'm ready to go. And of course I couldn't let that go, but I did leave her name out of the program on purpose. Judy and I have worked together for 11 years. Many of you don't know this, but Judy put herself through school as a single parent and graduated cum laude with a business administration degree and a treasurer's certificate in 1998. No small feat to do that with 2 kids and to do it on her own. She later served as a treasurer at Lexington Local Schools for many years before becoming to Mount Vernon in 2011. Judy is an amazing grandma. I hear a lot about her grandchildren, loves her children, and her husband, John. She also has 2 adorable dogs who I get to see their pictures. If you don't know, Judy is a car lover. In the time that I've been here, in 13 years, I don't know how many cars I've seen, but they're usually a Volkswagen, a Beetle, a convertible, and that's her right there with her dogs and her little Beetle. And I just have cherished my time with Judy, and will miss our daily conversations. We still have 2 months together, and Judy has been just a tremendous asset to the district. So if you could please give me a nice round. I'm in trouble, I can tell. So we're going to take a quick break here, probably for maybe 10, not more than 15 minutes before we go back into our regular session. Again, you're welcome to stay. We do have always fun things in the business portion of the section, but there are cupcakes and some water over there. And if you get a chance, go up and just congratulate our retirees because they certainly deserve it. Maybe one more round for all of our retirees.
It's okay. She doesn't care if I'm mad at you. It'll be okay. Thank you. That was very kind. It'll be okay. Was it being
our meeting, and Cooper is not here. April, so did Mike. There is no public participation tonight, so we will go right into our board items for discussion, and I will turn it over to Bill.
Well, we have one item just for information. Commencement is this Sunday, May 24th at Energy Fieldhouse. We have about 299 graduates, and so they're finalizing up that list. I know Corey was kind of finalizing that up. I've heard from one or two of you about some special folks you'd like to present to, and so I'll try to send that out here within the next day or so that you have an idea how we'll divide that up. Looking probably at about 60 graduates per board member. Okay? 3:30 is the start, so if you get there around 3 o'clock, we should be good to...
2:30. Arrive at 2:30.
2:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commencement's at 3.
Oh, 3 o'clock. Why was I thinking 3:30?
Yeah, 3.
We would have been late.
You don't get married at the bottom of the hour, right? Okay. So it's 3 o'clock. He wants to have 2:30 and we're good shape. 2:30. Okay. And then we have one item for board approval.
All right, our item for approval tonight is a new treasurer's contract offering Courtney Roberts. She's got big shoes to fill, and but we're excited to welcome Courtney and to our district. So I'd entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Ward and Dr. Bennett. Is that correct? Okay. All right, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Rolladai?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Motion carried. Officially welcome, Courtney, to the district. Thank you very much.
We have one other item in this section. Because of our calamity days this year, we've added this as a separate item because Mr. Ward can't really vote on this with his wife retiring, so we do have that the Board of Education approved waiving the requirement for teachers to extend the school year due to the 9th calamity day. And then additionally, we'll be meeting about trying to work some things out here in the next year relative to that.
I would entertain a motion then for the Calamity Day waiver. So moved. Thank you, Ms. Rolladai, and a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Workman. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, would you call the roll?
Mr. Rolladai?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Abstain.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, moving on to item 5, additions and deletions to our agenda tonight.
The number of items that are additions to the agenda, kind of last minute things. We don't like to do that, but in item 11B, we have an internal transfer. In 11B2, we have a substitute tuition or substitute teacher in Angela Sheets. And a last-minute insert is some substitute bus drivers to help us get through the end of the year. Believe it or not, Cale Grubbs is the transportation director of Fredericktown. And because they graduated over the weekend, he's agreed to kind of help us out over the course of the next 2 weeks to help us, as well as Vicki Nelson. So those are additions to your agenda. They are in your packet. So you should see them when we get to those adjacent sections.
All right. Moving on then to the superintendent's agenda and our district update.
So I do have some district updates to share. These are always fun items to share for you. Well, the first one's not quite as fun, but I did want to do a little bit of a levy reflection. Obviously, we were all really disappointed here recently about the election results. However, we certainly honor and respect the will of the voters, and at this time, the vote didn't quite go our way, but it was a 1% earned income tax, and you can see at the bottom right there, 50.94% against and 49.06 for. When you're talking nearly 5,600 votes to be 105 votes shy, that old saying, every vote counts, can't be more true than that. And so with that being said, we have some work to do, and the board has some thoughts to consider. First, I'd just like to thank all those who put in hard work to this campaign. I think we ran a really good campaign, but there are always things you can do better, and those are the things we need to reflect upon. I think the next steps for us is to gather some feedback from staff and community, so we're going to be sharing a thought exchange here coming up in a week before school's out to try to get some feedback as to what folks said. I will say that I had a district leadership team meeting here this past week, and we did talk about that among the district leadership team meeting and got some great insight, wonderful insight, and I think there are some things that we can look at as we move forward. The real question should be, are we going to place this facility levy back on the ballots for voter approval? And if so, then when? Because we really have two opportunities to do this. We have November and May, and the reason we have two opportunities is that we have that $40 million sitting there from the Ohio Facility Construction Commission, and we have that small window yet to do it. I think as a board, we really should probably get together here in June and to kind of brainstorm some ideas that will come out of the thought exchange, some thoughts that you have, and then determine if we're going to be on the ballot when. November is a really big election. It's a gubernatorial election. We've got state and federal elections going on. It will be a very high turnout, and that could be good. And then May, of course, is our last opportunity. And so I'm sure you've heard some different thoughts and strategies as we move forward, but we have some timelines in front of us. And Judy brought to my attention that if, in fact, the board does look to go back, let's just say in November, we've got timelines already in August that have to be met. And so we would kind of kick ourselves right back into kind of campaign mode just during a different time of the year. And so I look forward to that conversation where we can have conversation together about things we might look at differently as we move forward. And that could be a range of a lot of things, whether it's a continued earned income tax or there's a finite time period for it. We heard some of those things. Whether we want to look at our current plan or whether we want to look at one of those options that we have because of the finances. So what I think we'll do is in a board update, we'll try to carve out some time here maybe in June when we're not all on vacation, and we'll work on that together. Any other thoughts on that before I move on that anybody'd like to share before I share these other few things?
Just again to thank the levy committee for all their hard work and all those that showed up and put signs in their yard and did everything to support us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did a lot of really good work, and even though the result wasn't ultimately what we wanted, I think we really getting that close is really, I think, actually speaks well for the committee, because this is the first time we've sought out new money in years.
And especially when, gas got to $4.99 a gallon and we're kind of in a current state. And there were still some questions people had. I think there is a real desire to know where. We're looking to locate these buildings. That's really, really important to a lot of people. And then, of course, that continuing piece in there and just looking at that. So a lot of good work, Bill. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the voters who said yes and are looking towards the future for our children and the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you. In district update, just real quickly, our high school chorale went to state competition again this year, and this year they earned a superior rating. It's the highest rating you can get, and so Trevor continues to do a great job with the musical portion of our choral, and we're really happy for them. This was a really neat announcement. Lucy Rush, who is a senior and will be graduating, she was named the top female athlete in Central Ohio. She's being recognized as the 2026 Female Athlete of the Year by Encova and a $10,000 $1,000 scholarship. And so that's pretty impressive for Lucy. She'll be on those 10 TV commercials, and if you know Lucy, she is probably the most humble individual you'll ever come across, and so certainly congratulations to her. Fifth grade outdoor education camp, John Fry back there, he is now John Spielberg. He has been putting movies together, whether there are Facebook posts or movies that really are well done. I'm going to play this one real quick for you. Let's see here. It's about 3 minutes. does a great job with that. And of course, John, you can tell John likes his music. But it does kind of encapsulate a really fun 2 days with the kids. This year we were able to take just 2 days versus 3 days because they allowed 3 schools to come at once. And so it's a full day. They get there, they leave straight from school. We get them home by about 6 o'clock. And I think it's just one of those kind of rites of passage that they like to have there. I had mentioned this earlier, so we have an autistic classroom. They're the CAB, we call them CAB and BIC, Communication and Behavior Intervention Classroom. We took kindergarten and first grade autistic students who are non-speaking today over to the Shane Therapeutic Horse Center. That's where Kathy and I went out to kind of watch these kiddos. If you would have seen them at the beginning of the year, it was hard to have them stay seated for a minute, let alone stay engaged and be able to go on a field trip, right? And so to see them go out and to, kind of take that chance to pet the horses and do those things. And, Kathy and I commented on our way back, some of the aids that we have are just amazing because these youngsters require a lot of attention. And to be able to get to that point, Kristen Campbell was instrumental in making this happen. And so it was a really kind of a fun field trip to see, even our most challenging youngsters have a wonderful field trip experience. A lot of upcoming events. Tonight is Academic Awards Night, actually at 7 o'clock. We have 2 graduations on May 20th, which would be Wednesday, 5:30 and 7:30 at the Career Center. I think they've had enough graduates where they got to kind of split them. The MVHS Orchestra also has their last concert of the year at 7 p.m. We have our senior awards on Thursday at Energy Fieldhouse. It'll all be set up for graduation. Again, the Fieldhouse will be set up with about 3,500 seats for graduation. Graduation then is, of course, and I put that down wrong. Maybe that's why I thought 3:30. Yeah. So I've got to make sure I get that in my brain. It's 3 o'clock, not 3:30. So the graduation is at 3 o'clock at Energy Fieldhouse. Believe it or not, that next rite of passage, the 8th grade class trip to Washington, D.C. will take place after Memorial Day. Last day for students is May 28th, and then teacher work day is May 29th. So a lot of things kind of coming up here in the next week. And that pretty much kind of concludes the district update. In the superintendent section, we have no items for board approval tonight.
Moving on then to curriculum instruction. Dr. Bennett?
I think in the interest of time, I'll forego that this evening.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Laura.
And I wondered if our new treasurer would you want to stay for the whole meeting, or would you?
I'm happy to stay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we are moving on then to our fiscal services. I think I lost my place here. Yes, fiscal services. Judy.
Okay. I'd sent you an email that covers quite a bit of this information. This is the regular report, obviously. You can see on the first page we have our cash balances there. That's our total cash. If you want to scroll down, there's our total cash at the end of April. Again, we only have 2 more months left in this fiscal year, so they'll be wrapping up at the end of June. If you want to scroll down to the next page, Bill. This is where we compare the forecast to where we exactly are. Again, I went over some of that information in the email that I sent out, but we're right on track where we think we should be at this point in time. The next report is the investment report, where we total the investments that we have for the year. And as of the end of April, we're at $820,000, so we have 2 more months to go on that. And the rest of the report are the cash summaries from the system. I did discuss with you the appropriations. I think I heard back from everybody. There were two funds, that we needed to increase appropriations for the 018 fund, the principals fund. There were some additional activities that we didn't know about ahead of time that we had to add, and then also in the 014, which is the advanced and college placement. We had a purchase order in estimating how much we're going to spend, and we may not spend it all, but we still have to have it appropriated. So those after you approve those will go to the county auditor, and they'll go ahead and make the changes to our appropriations. And then the next resolution, again, I sent the information, and we will be moving the money from the 070 fund back into the general fund. In order to do that, the 070 fund, the creation has to be rescinded, and that means that all that money goes back into the fund that it came from. At any time the board wants to move it again, do another 07 fund, you would just do what we did last year in May. But in the interest of making sure that the state doesn't look at our forecast and think that we are running out of money, we're putting the $5 million, and it's, she has the dollar amount, I think. Can you scroll down, Bill? Because I gave her the dollar amount that the whole is in there now. Yeah, up there, 5.478 million. We moved 5.3, so you can see we got 178,000 in interest since we put it in there. So we'll be putting that back into the general fund after you approve it. And then I think we just have donations. After that, we have two donations. One to Dan Emmett Elementary from the New Life Church of the Nazarene, some miscellaneous school supplies for students, and then to Pleasant Street staff from the New Life Church of the Nazarene, a bin of snacks. And that's all I have.
All right, I would entertain a motion for approval of fiscal services as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Regola-Dye.
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Bennett. Were there any questions or corrections? Hearing none, would you call the roll?
Ms. Regola-Dye?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes, motion carried. All right, moving on to business services, and Ms. Regola-Dye.
Thank you. In the interest of time, I will skip a verbal report, but I would encourage everyone to look at the second link, the legislative liaison report. There are a ton of new bills that have been introduced. So you can just do that at your leisure when you have nothing else to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. In business services, we have 3 items for approval tonight.
The first is just a lack of service agreement that we approve every year. The second is for an Aramark food service agreement for 26-27. And then the final item is a policy renewal position bond for a period of 3 years at a cost of $830.
All right, I would entertain a motion for the 3 business service items as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Workman.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Were there any questions or corrections?
Question, what was the amount for the number 3 for the policy renewal?
$830.
Thank you.
I don't know if they're too close.
Too close together.
All right, Judy, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Regola-Dye?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes, motion carried. Not that I really need it. All right, moving on to student services. No items for information, but we do have 3 items for board approval tonight.
The first item is an audiology contract for the 26-27 school year. The second item is something we've mentioned already, but it's the graduating class of 2026, 297 students now appear to be walking. And then finally, number 3 here is an addendum to the special education service agreement. So those 3 items for board approval tonight.
I would entertain a motion for the student service items as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. I'm sorry, is that Dr. Bennett? Thank you. Any additional questions? Okay, hearing none, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Regola-Dye?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes. Motion carried. Moving on to personnel, certificated licensed staff.
We have one item for information. It was a public hearing announcement. The board will hold a public meeting on the issue of Marky Ark, Tom Foose, and Karen Donadio for being reemployed as retirees. The meeting will be held on Monday, the 20th of July. That is a regular board meeting night, so we were able to combine those two. And again, that'll be at Energy Fieldhouse. But it is a requirement by law to have a public hearing opportunity before bringing these positions back. Mr. Foose and Ms. Donadio serve us in very specialized special education roles that are really demanding and important. And obviously, you're aware of our retire-rehire policy at the teacher level. And then Margie Ark has served the district for a long time. She's wanting to retire-rehire and then, of course, come back at a different rate. So that public hearing will take place on Monday, July 20th.
And we have a list of staff for approval this evening.
A whole list of things for approval. I know you've had a chance to look over these already, so I'll quickly kind of work our way down through them. Number one, this is for this school year. We have the retirements there, 2 additional retirements. And we have a number of resignations, which obviously generates new employees and a lot of interviewing. And so you've got Sarah Alberson, Alexandra Bierman, Sam Labene, and Kyle Lauer, Kathleen LeMay, and Madison Vipperman. We do have a substitute teacher that we're bringing back retroactively, and then you're starting to see a lot of supplementals. You'll see those throughout the summer, whether they're fall or whether they're finishing up the year. We've added our resident education mentors, and then for the 2026-27 school year, you're going to start to see some of those folks that we've been interviewing and hiring. We'll introduce those folks in August at a special board meeting where you'll get to kind of know who they are. Hannah Kelling will be an intervention specialist at Columbia. Megan Mullador will be social studies at Mount Vernon Middle School. Tough act to follow there, from what I'm hearing. Becky Scott will be an intervention specialist at Mount Vernon High School. Matthew Torgor will also be a social studies teacher at Mount Vernon, and Matthew is right there, so you can actually wave to Matthew right now. So welcome aboard, Matthew. Katie Weber will be moving into physical education, and she will be at Dan Emmett and East. Katie is the wife of our football coach. We do have a number of internal transfers, which we kind of start first. And you can see those there. And then Carly Watterson is also here. Carly Watterson will be moving from principal at East Elementary. She's going to be transferring into the central office to the Director of Teaching and Learning. So I'm excited to welcome Carly aboard. She's going to do a great job. I've given her a lot. There's a lot on that plate, as Mr. Ward and others have shared. Those are some big jobs. And she's ready to tackle them. And then if we have to adjust, we'll adjust. And then, of course, Brittany Wims will be a reading specialist transferring to Wiggin Street. Number of substitute teachers as we look into the new school year. It's always important to have great substitute teachers as we go through. And then a couple other hires. Nolan Belcher, we're really kind of bringing in Project Lead the Way in some bigger ways. It's really part of that college and career cluster and STEM initiatives. April Thompson, who was at our meeting earlier, is already taking classes to really take on that middle school piece. Nolan will be kind of stepping in and beginning to work towards that computer science component. We've even had conversations with elementary school and even looking at some Project Lead the Way launch programs. So we're really trying to do some good things there. You saw Taylor Jacklin, 4th grade teacher at Pleasant Street, and then Adam Mooney, who will be social studies at Mount Vernon Middle School. We got some home instructors, and believe it or not, front, it feels like we've not finished out the year, but we're looking at fall supplementals already. And trust me, that's not the whole lot of them. You'll be seeing more of them coming down the pipe. A couple pupil activity laypersons contracts. And then, of course, we'll finish it out with some volunteers. So a lot of items A through G for your approval tonight.
A whole laundry list. All right, I would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Golodai.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Workman. Any questions?
Just a big thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All that
We're still working at it.
The first of many.
And I'm sure, is it Twirler? Is that correct? We saw, well, I guess it's not on this, but Mr. Caldwell is leaving a lot of supplementals behind us. Just a little bit more. Thank you.
And the jacket, he's leaving the jacket too.
Yeah, there you go. Probably put it-
No.
All right, thank you. Would you call the roll, Judy?
Yes. Mr. Golodai?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
I have to abstain. My wife's name is in that list.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
And Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes. Okay, moving on to the classified staff.
We have one item of information here. Sean, by the contract, can look at another position, actually participate in that position, but then has a 10-day grace period where they can go back to their other position. And we approved him to transfer from food service to second shift custodian. He's moving back to that food service position. Doesn't take any board action, just item for information there. Section B, item for board approval tonight. There's some employment issues there, a lot of custodial, bus garage kind of positions. And then, of course, our 2-year contracts. Nicole Welper will be a new library aide here at Twin Oak. She's taken the place of one of our retirees tonight. And then we have some summer work crews for food service. I know I've shared this in a board update, but our food service program will be a little bit different this year in that we're going to be serving those meals, so to speak, 1 day a week. So they'll pick those meals up at the high school. It'll be 5 breakfasts and 5 lunches per student that they'll pick up, so we don't have to be open every single day and that they can have it. We really feel that's going to increase our participation, and so they're getting that kind of information out as we go. Summer work crew for IT, Chris Bartel, and then some substitute employment. These are those 2 of the bus drivers I talked about earlier. And then we have a couple contracts they decided they couldn't work for us after already being approved. And then you do have some retirements, Perry Winfrey and Loretta Reynolds, who you met tonight, and 1 resignation for your approval.
I did, let me see, let me find the name. You had on additions, deletions, substitute bus drivers, you had Caleb Grubb and Vicki Nelson. Okay.
Right here?
I'm sorry, she's not on mine. Okay.
Yeah, when I printed those, yeah, they were.
Thank you. That was it. All right, sorry about that. I didn't look up and I should have.
I printed 40 of them. I thought, oh, do I want to print 40 more?
It's okay. Let it go. Yeah, all right. All right, so I would entertain a motion then for approval.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Rigolodai. Any additional questions or comments? Hearing none, would you call the roll?
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Golodai?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Workman, sorry.
Yes.
Mrs. Getzmann?
Yes, motion carried.
She's always got it out for me.
She does.
What did I do the other time? I like how you missed that too. I'm sorry.
All right. It is time for board member comments, and Mr. Workman, since you got called out.
Hey, thank you, appreciate that. You know, it's always nice being able to move to a larger facility and have a full house as we did earlier, and certainly want to congratulate all the retirees, even Judy, who wasn't on the agenda. So, but seriously, you'll be greatly missed, Judy. I mean, we still have a couple months, but thank you for all you've done. And you mentioned 476 years. That is absolutely, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. It shows, you know, the loyalty and, you know, everything that we have at the school district, which is awesome. And many kids, many staff have benefited from them, so we want to thank them. Great accomplishment there. Looking forward to graduation. That's always a fun time. I cannot believe that it's coming this week. I'm not sure where the school year went, like most of them, but I always look forward to that Sunday and doing that. But great to celebrate with everyone tonight. Much appreciated.
Well, I too would like to mirror Mr. Workman's comments, congratulating our retirees, all of them, one in particular, and all the dedication. I mean, you hear about some of them coming back. You see some of the names still reappearing on some of these lists for next year, substitutes and things. But I really wanted to congratulate Carly and Courtney. You two are going to have to get to know each other. You're going to be in central office. And welcome to central office. You know, we'll really bring, you know, two really high quality people to kind of take us to the next step, but, you know, recognizing that you're also replacing two really high quality, two highly capable people in Judy and Kathy, and Eric for that matter. So you've got some big shoes to fill, but we know you can do it, and we really welcome and are proud to have you in those roles with us.
Thank you to our new people. Welcome. We are a family here in Mount Vernon City Schools, and I'd like to thank all of our teachers and staff for a safe and successful school year. And I continue to thank our community for their support, and I know that we can count on it in the future. Thank you.
I'd just like to say what a fun meeting it was to honor our retirees, and again, family was the word that came to mind, and to see how much the fellow teachers and their principals cared for them, and it was beautiful. So I'm very proud to be in a district where we love our staff, we love our teachers, and we love our administrators, and we feel very blessed in this district to have such great people. Also like to wish Mrs. Forney the best in her retirement, and Carly and her new job, and Courtney, and I just hope that we'll have as great a year next year as we do this year. And I want to also congratulate our graduates, our seniors, and that's always a fun time. So looking forward to that on Sunday. But and thanks to our administration for all the work that you do to keep us in this moving forward. So thank you.
And I'm not sure what's left to say, but other than to thank you, 476.66, that's huge. That's a lot, and we have a lot to be proud of, and I think this school year was a very successful year overall, and even though every district has a few bumps in the roads, we climbed that hill and we ended up on top of the mountain, so we should be blessed. We are blessed. Thank you again, echoing what Ms. Regola-Dye said, for all of those that helped with the levy. I look forward to getting back on the ballot here, and hopefully coming out on the other side of the mountain this time, instead of stopping at the top. Lots of fun things to do and great work. We are in that 476 years, we are losing a lot of knowledge. And it's going to be tough, big shoes, as we always say, to replace, and we do. And I personally just want to say thanks to Judy. Her friendship has meant a lot over the years. We've had lots of texts back and forth, and you're going to be missed.
Thank you.
I still haven't got my ride in your car yet, but when it gets fixed, maybe this summer
Oh, for sure.
I'll pop in.
Absolutely.
But thank you. Kathy, thank you. We go back a few years, so thank you for all of your work, and welcome to Courtney and to Carly and to Matthew as well. You're going to love it here, I promise. We are family. And you have the right colors on, so you're you're in. You are in, but, so, thank you. Bill, anything additional you want to comment?
I think you guys have done a wonderful job, so I'll leave it there.
All right. We do have the need tonight to go into executive session for the employment for personnel, and I would entertain a motion to go into executive session. Thank you, Ms. Regola-Dye. Thank you, Mr. Workman.
No, he stayed.
And would you call the roll?
Mr. Regola-Dye?
Yes.
Mr. Workman?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Dr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mrs. Getzman?
Yes, motion carried.
7:01.
7:01.